Hello, everybody. So welcome to our HKU scholarship section with student sharing. I will be the moderator today, and my name is Hermione. So from the admissions office of the University of Hong Kong. So right now we have invited 5 scholars today, and then let us to introduce themselves by one.
Hello, I am Mohammed. I am from Turkey. I am studying in HKU mathematics, and I have the entrance scholarship. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Elsa. I'm from Myanmar. I'm studying global health and development, and I have the Belt and Road Scholarship.
Hi, my name is Trey. I'm from America and Bulgaria. I study international business, and I have the scholarship for future leaders.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth, and I'm from Ethiopia, East Africa. I'm a first-year engineering student, and my scholarship is the Future Leaders Scholarship.
Hi, I'm T. I'm from Thailand, and I'm first-year engineering student as well. I have Belt and Road scholarships.
So welcome everyone today, and our rundown will be like first will be shared some like sharings from our 5 scholars today, and then later on we'll have some like housekeeping will be about our HKU undergraduate admissions, and then as well as some like scholarship highlights, and then finally we will have the Q&A section. So if you are in the webinar right now, if you have any questions, please type in the Q&A box, and then like we will cater later on. So I got the first questions to all of you. Well, we know that like you guys just finished the exams, so I just like generally asking like how life's going, and then like any plans for like Christmas, because sort of like you guys will be the first time experiencing like Christmas in Hong Kong. So how do you feel about like Hong Kong Christmas in general, or like anything like you're waiting for, or like you feel like very surprising?
I would say back in Bulgaria, it's always really cold, it's always snowing, and so Hong Kong, it's a very warm Christmas. So my family is actually here from Bulgaria to come visit for the holidays, and then after they leave, I'm going to head over to Korea as well.
Great.
Well, contrary to Trey, like this is the coldest Christmas that I've ever had, because my country is around the equator, so
Yeah.
this is summer. Christmas time is summertime in Ethiopia, so it's very warm here. It's warm there, but over here it's very cold for me. But aside that, like the Christmas vibe, the Christmas spirit is here, and I'm really enjoying myself. And I also got some early Christmas presents from some of my friends who are traveling to their country during the winter break. And like gift giving is not really part of the Ethiopian cultural like Christmas celebration, so it was like a new thing for me. But like I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
I heard T about like you're going to travel the M Plus, which is like the very great Christmas tree, like alongside with the West Kowloon like cultural district. So are you exciting feeling about like, or like do you have a plan to go there?
Yeah, sure. So I would say in Thailand, like there are not that much people like celebrate Christmas, and like for my part of Thailand, there is no winter. So this is my like first winter and the coldest Christmas I ever had, and like for the West Kowloon, I think it's like maybe the biggest Christmas tree I've met. So I think I'm very excited.
Oh, great. And what about Elsa and Muhammad?
My experience is pretty similar to T's. My country doesn't have the winter either, so it's only the cold season. So I'm also going to M+, and my family's coming with me. And we'll have some food, we'll take some pictures, because in my country we don't really decorate that much for Christmas. We have some banners and streamers and all that. We don't have the tree, so I'm really excited to see it.
Well, for me it's interesting because I live in Istanbul, so I'm from Istanbul. So actually, back in Istanbul last year, well, it was cold. But usually we don't celebrate Christmas, so for me it's quite surprising. Yeah, and the other day I was in the beach actually, and there was these Christmas trees, the lighting. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like it Christmas in Hong Kong.
Oh, great. So I think like the most exciting thing would be like the very big Christmas tree or like the fives that you guys like haven't been experienced like from your home country because like sort of like meeting the East and the West in Hong Kong as well as. So yeah, like similar to our background as well with like a very colorful Christmas tree as well and then alongside with the Victoria Harbour. So okay, today I will going to ask the very first questions of you guys will be and I know that like many students or like participants or who are like the viewers like who are currently looking for us like very interested in you guys will be like why do you choose like Hong Kong or HKU? So Elsa, would you mind to like start sharing your part first?
A few years ago, I did visit Hong Kong, and I really enjoyed how busy people are and how kind they are. And I really wanted to study here, so when I was given this opportunity, I was really excited to attend HKU. Yes.
Well, for me, yeah, same. It's my first year, and actually, I've never been to this part of Asia before. So yeah, it's a good, it's a nice year. Yeah, with I met many people, and yeah, I really like here. Yeah.
For me personally, it was I really wanted to come to Asia since I think it's a part of the world that I haven't experienced before since being from America and living in Europe. Asia was kind of unknown to me, but I see a really good long-term future here. And so that kind of brought me to Hong Kong because I think Hong Kong is really at the center of it all with the great connection to mainland China and also it being Asia's world city. Like it really does have a lot of international aspects and it's really connected to a lot of the world. So that's what brought me to Hong Kong in comparison to some other countries in Asia. And so then coming to HKU specifically was a lot about the prestige of the university, of course, but then also the location is really nice because you're really right in the center of town. So Hong Kong is really right at your fingertips and everything is really, really accessible.
Right. And what about Elizabeth?
Well, my story is a bit different because I never considered HKU as my study destination. When I was applying for universities, I was focusing on applying to universities in the US and Europe mainly. And I never considered Asia as for my university studies, mainly because I thought English is not the language of instruction in many of the universities, and I didn't think they were receptive to international students with scholarships. But I found that here in HKU, somebody from the institution that helped me to apply to universities introduced me to Hong Kong University, and I focused on the Faculty of Engineering. I started my research on that because I am really interested in studying engineering. And I really found what I was looking for. So, and also Hong Kong is located in, HKU is located in Hong Kong, and it's a big city. I always wanted to go to a big city for my university studies. And yeah, here I am.
That's great.
Yeah.
And what about T?
Yeah, for me, I've been to Hong Kong many years ago for vacation, and I really love the vibe here. So from that time, Hong Kong is my study destination, and from the scholarships I received, I found it's really attractive because it's government funded. So I decided to choose here and come here.
Okay, so sort of what I heard right now would be the scholarship package is very interesting and then very attractive as well. And at the same time, I think you guys sort of more about Hong Kong before you come to here, and then later on after you've been arrived here, you got a new whole feeling about Hong Kong and HKU. And I do think Elsa's because you're studying global health development as well, and that's sort of one of the reasons that you want to pursue studies in HKU because this is your sort of can I say dream subjects or
Yes.
your really sort of the thing that you want to aspire to.
Yes.
Okay, then that's why I think HKU actually offer quite a lot, a wide variety, and as well as the flexibility of the curriculum, and as well as choices of program as well. So well, of course in here I would say good luck to your study as well because you guys still have a long way to go. But I know that in these like few years, perhaps like you will have like the very like happiness moments because with like you're able to meeting more friends and like around in HKU, and as well as like other type of like different kind of activities that you get involved to. So I hope that you guys will have like a very good time in Hong Kong as well. So what about next questions will be about, because today our topic is talking about scholarships, and I know that like many students will be very excited or like, wish to know that. So what are the tips for like kicking off like a scholarship application, apart from like I'm very interested in HKU undergraduates program and I really want to like go for it, but the thing is that like any tips that you wish to talk more on about like how to kick off like a scholarships. I know that T got some like ideas or like comments or tips on like the personal statement. Do you have like anything to share with us together?
Yeah, sure. So I think it's quite specific for the statement that you apply for the scholarships, since you have to like express like how would you give the funded in return. So for Bell and Road scholarships, it's government funded. So you have to like show that what can you like bring to the government or like your home country in the return from what you gave you. So I think try to connect your goals or your career goals with the experience that you have done. Yeah, and that would be like impressive.
Any other like ideas or like tips that you would like to share with all of the viewers right now?
Kind of in the same lane, I would say. Maybe it's because I'm a business student, but I have a very business approach to it. I see it as the university is investing in you as a person. And so you need to kind of sell yourself and show why you are a worthy investment in a way that will like pay dividends. So like show the potential that you have, show the ways that you plan to grow, show your future plans and what the scholarship enables you to do. So I think that would be a big thing, is just try to sell yourself and really show your potential and your bigger vision.
Exactly. And also actively involving in the community that you're in also helps because active involvement shows that you are a leader, and leadership is the quality that most scholarships are looking for. So I think, for instance, let me give you just one example of how I used my leadership ability. So when I was in high school, in my former high school, it was a STEAM-based high school. It was a math and physics-based school, but I found a lot of creative students there, but there isn't like an art club kind of thing. So I took the initiative to create an art club. It's called the Cool Creatives Club. So just like stepping up, taking the initiative and creating this kind of activities also really helps you to get the scholarship, because it shows that you're a leader and you can contribute to the community here at HKU.
So for me, I also applied for the Belt and Road Scholarship, and in the guidelines they tell us to express how we can contribute to Hong Kong's society, and so that's what I wrote about. And also because most of the applicants are going to be very academically gifted, so you have to stand out. And one of the ways I would recommend doing that is to, as Elizabeth said, write about your experiences. So for me, I taught a lot of English in my country. So I tutored a lot of kids English, and also when I got here, I tutored English to some minorities. So I wrote about that. Also, I volunteered as a helper at the American Center in my country. So that's what I wrote about as well.
I see. So sort of like in like a summary will be like, I know that for example like with Hammond's like will be the entrance scholarship that will be more focused on like merit basis, like outstanding grades or whatever. But for other like maybe some other specialized scholarship, perhaps like we may have to like focus a bit more like the non-academic achievements, or as well as like for future leaders, then perhaps like will be like how you're able to contribute back to the community or like the country, like maybe both to Hong Kong and then your home country as well. So I think for the highlights for scholarships later on, I will cover it more on about like, okay, so sort of like what we are looking for, but like in general, like that's all that we have all like discussed on there. So after like having some tips on like scholarship, we'll go into the next part will be like, okay, maybe like a little bit like wider. Like now we're more to like other apart from like HKU. So we're looking more about like Hong Kong. How do you feel about Hong Kong? Because what I heard before, like Elizabeth maybe mentioned that I haven't been to Hong Kong, and then I even don't know where is Hong Kong actually, and or else like maybe like I'm very interested, like Trey or T saying like I'm very interested in Asia, and then like Hong Kong is one of my choices as well. But do you think like anything like difference before that you come to Hong Kong and after? Okay, I'm being like one semester right now in HKU. Do you think like any difference or any like anything that you feel like it's not the same that as you thought before? Like maybe like the ideal and then like the perceived like side. Like what do you think? Like do you think like before? Oh, maybe like I'm not quite sure like what are the people's are or like later on. But then like now I come to Hong Kong, I feel like oh actually like it's like a totally different story. They're very nice and they're very helpful, and then they're able to like reach to you like for like support or whatever. What do you think about like in general?
I would say coming from the West, I get a very different perspective about Hong Kong than a lot of people in Asia, since I had also never been here.
Yep.
And so for me, it was kind of a big leap, because you hear a lot from the media about certain things, and actually coming here, I can say my experience has been really fantastic. A lot of it is that maybe Hong Kong, some people might see as dangerous or very expensive, and for me, the story here has been that it's extremely safe everywhere. It's a super convenient city. You can walk around, you know, at night alone, super safe, no problem. Like even a lot of my female friends have the same experience. And also the city is surprisingly affordable. The rent costs can be really high, but as a university student, especially if you're staying in halls, the big cost, which is rent, basically gets taken away, and you're left with more just like the food and activity costs, but most of that is kind of subsidized, or you get student discounts, which makes it actually a very affordable city to live. And because the public transport is so good, it makes it super convenient as a student, which has been really great for me.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I would say same as Trey. I really love the public transport here. It's very convenient, and like it's very safe here. And like I can walk alone like at night, really safe. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, it's same as my friends. You know, one day I woke at like 5 a.m. You know, I went into beach and you know had a great view of sea, and the safety is really cool in Hong Kong, and public transport. Actually, I'm coming from Istanbul, but I think it's Hong Kong is a lot good. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah.
Have you guys like tried all the public transport in Hong Kong? Like for example, like have you tried the ferries?
Yeah.
I think like definitely like because like at the night like you will able to see the wonderful like harbour, Victoria Harbour side as well, and then sort of like I share like little story will be like yesterday I'm just like go on a ferry as well, and then you feel like your whole self is like calm down and then relax for a bit, because like from after like maybe like some busy work, like for example you guys just finished all the exams and assignments or essays, like rushing for it, and then perhaps like maybe like having like a boat trip or like maybe like the ferry's time, like maybe just like 5 to 10 minutes, but then you feel like yourself is like refreshed again, and then able to like sort of like oh actually like we have see like some like greeneries, and then like sort of like city life, but at the same time you can sort of like have some like other like relaxation time as well. So I think like you guys will feel like Hong Kong is very like convenient and then like easy to go reach it. And then I remember Trey like mentioned that HKU is actually like really like hot in Hong Kong as well, because it's very easy to reach like within the city as well. So what do you think about like any special between in your university life so far? Like just one semester, like I'm not sure whether you guys like have tried to study really, really hard in a library, or like in your like dorm or like halls or whatever, or with friends together. But in general, like what do you think, anything like special or like memorable like around this time in the university life so far?
I think the most memorable is definitely, at least for me, the hall life and the dorm life, because a lot of the halls here are really special and unique, and it's something that you really don't find at any other university in like the world, to my knowledge. The kind of culture in the residential halls here is really fantastic and really unique, because each hall in the university has its own kind of traditions and cultural elements that makes it distinct. And you also get a lot of really unique activities like high table dinners and things like this that they don't have in many other places, and you get a really unique and memorable experience, which has been one of my favorite parts.
Do you guys take like lots of pictures as well, or like trying to share with your friends, like maybe from your home country or like whatever?
Yeah,
No,
of course.
that's good. That's good. What about others?
Well, for me, like meeting people from, like, I didn't really expect such kind of diversity in Hong Kong, but I honestly, I met a lot of people from very different parts of the world, and that is very important to me, because when I studied my A levels in Ghana, which is a different country. I'm from Ethiopia, and it was a very diverse institution as well. So I really wanted this diversity, and then after coming here, like having like this diverse community, also really it's something that I really love. In addition, it's not really memorable, but one thing that I really love about like Hong Kong and HKU is the curriculum for engineers, like the engineering curriculum, because on the first year you get to experience all the different types of specific engineering majors, and that is very awesome, because when I applied here, honestly I didn't really know what type of engineering I wanted to do. But like this common year really helped me to explore the different types of engineering that I can major in. So that's really fun and important.
For me, I really enjoyed the facilities in HKU. So I frequently go to the library after my classes because I have some gaps in between lectures. And with me and my friends, we would book a discussion room, and we can discuss everything we learned in the lecture or just talk.
Like study group, right?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay, that's great.
It's really fun. Everyone's really hardworking and fun and nice. So it's very lighthearted, but also you get things done because the atmosphere at the library, it's so calm and peaceful, and yeah.
So I actually heard that like you think like with the peer support as well, and then as well as like you guys like maybe forming some like study groups or like with some friends together, and then I think like it's very enjoyable, like a very joyful like university life as well. And then I remember T seems like making lots of friends in the hall, right?
Yeah. So I would say I love like cultural diversities in the hall. I'm the person that like not hanging out much, so I'm at the car like sticking into the hall, and like on my floor we like cook each other countries like food, and then we share. Like I have like Pakistan friend, and then he cook me some of their food. I have Korean friend, and then they cook me some of their food, and that's really good. Yeah.
So that means like you're able to like sharing some like cooking tips together,
yes.
and then able to like sort of like try like others like people's maybe like their like distinctive like cuisine or whatever, and then you're able to like get it in a whole table, right? Oh, that's yeah, that's really good, because like usually like you're not able to like maybe meet a variety of friends, like for example in like the hometown. I'm not meaning like not diversified, but then overall you're not that easy to reach with. But I think like you guys all living in like a residential hall or like college as well, right? And I think you will have like more chance, like apart from meeting like locals as like the Hong Kong people, and then you're able to maybe meet some like exchange students or like other like international students like you, and then like we're working hard together for like your degree. So I do believe like peer support will be like really a very like sort of like a power to like shape you guys up within like maybe like academic wise or not academic wise. So like one very last part will be like because you guys are all having scholarships, and one of the questions I probably maybe like in during the interview or like in the application will ask like, so what are your future plans? Like no matter like career wise or like general like your whole personal development or like have you ever think for like further studies, for example, like MPhil or like PhD, like after you finish the undergraduate, like do you have any like ideas or like what are you going to do or like what are you going to be like after your graduation?
For me, my ultimate goal is to be in the UN and then participate in discussions maybe. So, but right now, since I'm still in the first year, there's still like a lot of different fields in global health and development, such as epidemiologist. We can like, for example, for COVID, we can see which vaccines are effective and how using mask or social distancing can help reduce spread of the virus. So I'm really interested in that field, but also under the same branch, there's also statistics. So there's people who enjoy statistics in global health and development. They can try those as well. So I'm still exploring, but my ultimate goal is UN.
Oh, yeah, I think like actually UN is working a lot in the public health like sector as well. And I do think like right now, is what it's like we're wearing masks for like a few years already due to the COVID. But I think like they're working very hard to like work on like or focus more on the public health. So I think the global health development like will be like a very like ad hoc topic like these days or these years as well, or even in the agenda as well. So we're very lucky to have you to like study in the global health development. Yeah, because I think it's a very like, important issues and topics by far too. So what about Muhammad? Do they have like I remember you have like some plans or like future studies. Like do you have anything?
Yeah. Well, now I'm studying mathematics. Well, I like math. I love math. I love it. So maybe in future I might do some masters, get a master's degree in Hong Kong or, I'm in Asia, so we have Japan, Korea. So yeah, I want to do my further studies, but I'm not sure whether I'm going to do it here or, in other countries. But yeah, HKU is great academic-wise, so yeah, but yeah.
Great. I think you can keep exploring because it's just like the first year of you guys studying. So like you still have like maybe around like 3 years to go to. So like it doesn't really matter like right now because like you just keep like exploring and like seeing like how things go on later on. So what about you, Trey?
For me, my long-term vision is definitely something with business and entrepreneurship specifically. I want to start my own company, run something, and so at least at this stage in my life, I'm focused very much on just trying to learn and explore. So part of that was coming to Hong Kong and getting a new perspective on things. And so just trying to learn and pick up as much as I can. And I think being at HKU has also been great since they have a lot of resources to kind of support. There's HKU specific resources for supporting entrepreneurs, but also Hong Kong has a lot of resources too. And being at an institution like HKU, I've gotten a lot of access to like really great mentors as well, which has been really helpful for me as I'm trying to continue to learn.
Awesome. And I think like because you are as a business student, perhaps that you have like a more like lens that will be like to see like wider like how you're going to plan in a few years. So I think like hopefully you're able to like keep going on your goals as well. And then like I think like you'll be doing fine too. So what about like Elizabeth and T?
The point especially like there is a very good support system in Hong Kong U because you have an academic advisor and a faculty advisor. But aside from that, you have like senior students to really guide you and share their experiences generally. So I mean, like that really helps you to make the right choices and like go to the right career that really suits you. So yeah, and like I took this course this semester, and it's called Engineers in the Modern World, and some of the Hong Kong University alumni came and they shared their experience. Some of them are entrepreneurs and some of them are working like very big companies in Hong Kong, and they share their experience, how they use their knowledge that they acquired in HKU to to build a very successful career. And that really well, actually it inspired me. It also helped me like to think about maybe working here. They also like gave us their contacts and everything. So it's very, I don't know, it's very convenient to make like career choices here in Hong Kong, or maybe going back home, because I honestly I didn't have it all figured out at the end. But yeah, working in Hong Kong might be a very good choice as well. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, at very first, I was thinking about like going back to Thailand after the graduation, but after coming here and like studying in Hong Kong University, I found like Hong Kong is like provides a lot of career opportunities for engineering fields, and I think maybe like working here for a few years, maybe like I can explore a lot of other fields in engineering, and I can find myself more, and then maybe like going back to study or going back to my Thailand at that time is not that late. Yeah.
So sort of like maybe like using like not using, but then like trying to having like after the degree like from HKU, and then later on as a starting point to keep exploring like what your true passion will be, like maybe in career wise or like in academic wise. Like I think like something is like you have the passion or like into it, like you can do like whatever like you wish to do, because everything is possible. So I think like you guys is like with this scholarship like opportunities, you're able to like got more opportunities, like maybe to like, explore new stuff or like to learn more stuff, and as well as to like maybe with like peer support or like with friends or like learning from the learning vibe in like HKU. So perhaps you're able to get like the very first hand knowledge or skill set, then you're able to like shape for your whole personal development as well. So once again, I do wish like good luck to all of you guys, because you guys must be like a little bit exhausted after all the exams and then assignment as well. And again, like we will like very happy to have you guys to sharing, because your sharing is very like invaluable to like all the like students who are very interested to our scholarship scheme, and as well as some like undergraduate like admissions. So I think we can go for the next section. Will be like some admissions highlight, and as well as some like scholarships highlight as well. So like this part I will be more like the major one to go for it. And then the first thing, let's go to the PowerPoint sharing, will be like our scholarships highlight in overall. So first will be like we have some recap, some like scholarships highlights, and you can see that from our PowerPoint actually we have like a few like scholarship options by far. So from Belt and Road scholarships, and then like Future Leaders, and then like he for she impact, and then as well as the entrance scholarships. Then we have like a different like, a variety of scholarship opportunities for you guys to select with and to choose with. And then again, because like we wish to like nurture future talents, so that's why these will be like cater different kind of like opportunities for you to apply for. So regarding the Belt and Road and scholarships, if you wish to apply, make sure that you have to check that if you're one of the participating Belt and Road countries, because this is one of the very important requirements for you guys to check with. Otherwise, like, you're not eligible to do with that. And then in the one-page write-up statement, which is like you have to address like your contribution to and beyond HKU, which is like between your home country and Hong Kong, because like the Belt and Road Scholarship, which is like apart from that, would be developing like a relationship between your home country as well as like Hong Kong. So sort of like between the study, how you can able to achieve, and then like after your studies or graduation, how you can actually be able to work with. And for the second thing will be the Futures Leaders, which is the trace one. And then Future Leaders, which is like we are very emphasizing and recognizing like outstanding talents, which is having like very excellence and leadership in non-academic activities. So sort of like in the application, what we are looking for about the candidates or applicants will be like you have to like demonstrate or expected to demonstrate like very exceptional leadership ability or vision for changing demands, because like right now we are having the changing global environment, and I think like things keep like changing on from second to second. So that's why like we really hope that like if you are able or eligible to this future leaders scholarship, like we wish that you're able to have like a site or like sort of like a future to like sort of like okay, so sort of like how to provide some solutions for the changing or like the ever-changing demands. So for the third one will be the He for She Impact Champion Scholarships. This is actually the first launch from 2015, which is echoing the UN's He for She initiative as like a campaign for the gender equality. So sort of like we wish that students with like apart from having outstanding academic results, and at the same time like we wish the students actually have achieving the He for She objectives, because like this is the main like scholarship goal or like the aims like to cope with the UN initiatives or objectives for reaching the global solidarity for the gender equality. And finally, we also have a wide range of like entrance scholarships. These are all the merit-based scholarship, and then eligible students we actually have some like different stream with like different international qualifications. So you don't have to make a separate applications because like they will be automatically considered. So like you don't have to panic like okay, where should I apply with apart from like the three previous one. So the next one will be with some more important notes on about the scholarships, because apart from the entrance scholarships, for example, like the Belt and Roll or like the Future Leaders or He for She Impact, we do want you to know more about what actually like supporting documents or other additional documents you wish to apply. So for Belt and Roll scholarships, like only for this scholarship, you have to make sure that you have to provide a one-page write-up on why you should be considered for the scholarship and your plans after graduation. So you have to like state clearly about your goals, because this is sort of like a government scholarship. So that's why like we do need your help to like write very clearly on your goals and development and career-wise like plans. And then as well as like you have to apply and then provide the latest CV and then with all the relevant supporting documents. What do you mean by like certificates here will be like the non-academic ones. So like we are very sort of like a little bit emphasized on the non-academic achievement and to see like how you're able to like with that kind of like potentials as well. And with the Belt and Road scholarships and Future Leaders, at the same time, additionally, you have to prepare a short paragraph per area below, which is like 4 in total. For example, like you have to demonstrate it or like introduce like, about your academic achievement, and then the second one will be the contribution to the institution, which is like HKU, and the society, which is in Hong Kong, and then the third one will be like about your leadership and communication abilities, and then the last one will be like whether you're interested in integrating to and contributing to the Hong Kong society. And typically for the Malaysian applicants only, you may have to write a little bit more or like add on the weighting on about your interest in contributing to Malaysian society and the Malaysia-Hong Kong people-to-people relations. And finally, for the He for She Impact Champion Scholarship, which is like only specific for the He for She one, you have to submit an essay with no more than 500 words to explain the role as like how you be an impact champion in the community, which is as well as like you have to say the reasons for like why you have to study or like to choose the particular program and HKU, and at the same time will be like some interests or records on like your extracurricular activities, which is like the non-academic achievements, and finally will be the voluntary works and career aspirations. So maybe for the next questions you'll be asking like how I can like apply for the scholarship and then what should I do? In our undergraduate admissions webpage, we actually have a tab which is about the fees and scholarship. You're able to like click into it, and then like in the page you're able to see like some buttons will be like you can choose. First will be like the non-local students, and the second one will be like you have the international qualification, and at the very end after you choose like your maybe like favorite or intended faculties, you're able to see like how many scholarship available opportunities that you may be eligible for. Then you'll be able to find all the eligibilities, and then as well as like what are like other like additional like documents to be submitted, or like anything other else like you have to do or have to achieve. So sort of like our students just previously mentioned, you may have to write some like extra essays or like document and stuff, but then like you're able to like know what kind of like documents and other stuff to do. And in the application system, it's very important that you guys like to know like, okay, so sort of like how I can say that I'm very interested in particular scholarship, for example, the Bell and Roll Scholarship one. And in our HKU undergraduate application system, you will see a several tab on it, and under the choice of program, click on it, and then at the very end, you scroll it down at the very end. That's the page will be like the special scholarships for incoming like applicants. Then you make sure that you have to put a tag to indicate your interest by checking the scholarship boxes. So that's why like, and that way we will know that, oh, you're actually really interested in that particular program, in that particular scholarship. And then later on, like if you're being like shortlisted, or like you know that like what should you do, then like we will have like further steps to be notified for. So final, which is like the very like back-end administrative procedures will be like, we are actually like for the HKU 2023 undergraduate admissions application, we are still like keep opening the admissions as well. So like we are doing the rolling admissions by now and until the next year, August 2023. So like if you have like anything like interested into or the particular programs, like after having this section you feel like, okay, I'm the one, I really want to go to HKU, I need to apply, then you still have like plenty of time to do for an application. But remember that like the maximum program choices will be like you can only apply for up to 3 program choices, and then make sure that like for some programs they may have like the first choice preferences. So that means like if you do really wish to go to that program, which is a very competitive one, or maybe else, like you make sure that you put in the first choice. But like anyways, like we'll have like 3 program choice at maximum for you to choose in application form. And for other like very general like questions will be like you have to make sure that you check the expected lower boundaries, which is like in our UG admissions website. So I will go into here a little bit explain about what are the expected lower boundaries are. So this is actually like some like data which is from several years ago with the historical like records or whatever. Then we have like a data set which is like let you know that, oh, sort of like the boundary like marks for like specific like subjects or like whatever like programs that what you are able to go into. But doesn't mean that like this is like a guarantee mark that you ask you to go into. It's just sort of like a reference benchmark for you guys. Like for example, if you're like holding IB, then perhaps you have to check whether like particular programs like they have like a marks, for example, like 33 or like 35. Then I have to make sure that, oh, so sort of like this is like a reference mark only. But it doesn't mean that like use that mark can go into this year admissions, because like again, like admissions is very competitive, and then you do know like how others are doing well or like not as well. So that's why we're always like saying that if you do your best, like score high, then definitely you will have a higher chance to your preferred programs. And at the same time, like we'll talk about the English language requirement as well, and also the second language requirement, because we will, in HKU admissions, we actually look for both English language and the second language. What we mean here is like the English language will be like sort of like your English proficiency. So sort of like as long as you can provide the applicable like proof to us, and then for our evaluation, we'll be good to go. But we know that like maybe some questions about, oh, what about the second language? So it's actually meaning like one language other than English. We're not talking about whether it's native or not, but it's just like any language other than English will be like your another proof to prove the second language proficiency. And the final thing will be about the program requirements, which is like we're talking about will be some like specific subjects requirements for some programs. So taking for example, maybe like what Elizabeth and T are mentioning, or like they're studying engineering, probably they need like a required subjects on like maths and physics. And then for like medicine or some like health and wellness subjects, perhaps like they need a chemistry as a required subject as well. So again, all these like information will be able to available on HKU website. So you have to go to our admission standards and then to take a look on it. And after after with like additional requirements or subject requirements and language requirements, then you're able to make the application and your decision to like your preferred program as well. And one final thing will be like, so what are the documents that I have to provide or I have to like include or upload into the application system? So we have like, again, because we will like evaluate like holistically, so which means that we're not just looking for academic consideration, but we also will look for like there's some non-academic parts. So that's why we have separated into two, and then like we will be happy to receive like your high school transcripts. So usually we'll be highly recommend you guys to submit like grade 10 onwards, your transcript or like school-based result for our reference and for our like holistic consideration and evaluation. And at the same time, if you have any like predicted or like final results, what we mean by final results maybe like the really last examination you have, which is to achieve the grade of your international qualification, you can update and upload your application once those becomes available. So like, don't worry, maybe like at this stage you don't have like the actual or like final result. It's fine because we will review from time to time. So like as long as like you may have the first predicted result, just upload them first. And then once you got or once you take the exam, everything is done and then the result is out and released, then you can just able to like update and then let us know again. And then we will review from time to time. So don't worry that in case like if you don't have like anything on that. And for the non-academic consideration part will be definitely, we will look for like some extracurricular activities, for example, maybe some like voluntary experience like mentioned by Elsa before, and then as well as like maybe some like internship opportunities or like whatever kind of like experience you feel like it's actually quite relevant to your application, feel free to drop into it. And then for the person statement and references, I will talk a little bit longer in here because for the person statement, you can only submit one, which is like with the maximum of like 1,000 words at most, regardless like how many choices that you choose of your program like choices. So sort of like you have to like make sure that like if I'm very interested in like 3 programs like ABC, perhaps like you can find some like comments within the 3, and then like trying to like draw up into a one like 1,000 like essays together and to present like or to let the us to know more about, oh, so why are you interested or why are you like trying to like pursue studies in HKU? And for the references, like we don't have like specific numbers or restrictions or number of referees to be submitted in the system, but then we will highly recommend that like with the appropriate number, and then as well as like the referees is actually can give a hand to you or like further support your application will be like sort of like your academic wise or non-academic wise or like let us to know about, oh, you actually have like multiple sides of you or like how in terms of like what you kind of like personalities or characteristics, then we'll be able to know more on that. So one final point will be like where to apply. Again, you can like go to our admissions website, which is admissions.hku.hk, and then on the like right top hand corner will be like there's the word apply. Click into it and then you were able to go into the tab will be the HKU application system. Then you'll be able to like register for an account and then you'll be able to like write up your application. So make sure that what do you mean by submit or like successfully submit an application will be make sure that you have to pay for the application fee, and then once it's like turned to submitted, that means like your application is submitted. So now we will go to the Q&A section. And we know that like they have like some students maybe talking about some questions on that. So we will try to address one by one. And I know that like for people, they maybe have some like interest on about like scholarships because like again, today's our section will be about scholarship, and then we have like a wide variety of like scholarships opportunities, and that means like maybe perhaps I will first address like what are some like eligible countries for the Belt and Road Scholarship, and I think like everyone will be very interested in that. So again, like because this is supported by the Hong Kong government, which is the Hong Kong SAR government, and it is very important to check, and then where to check will be that you have to visit to the HKSAR government website, and there's a list will be the Belt and Road countries. But then because we have some designated countries, which is like the specific like Belt and Road, And then after that, we have like a country wording as well. So for example, maybe like Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, and Myanmar, and then among others. So sort of like you have to like look through like the others, what you mean by whether your country is in the list. So make sure that you have to check with the HKSAR website. So the next thing will be how much does the scholarship cover? We know that this is a very important question as well because like some students will be like very interested or wish to know that, oh, so what are the scholarship amount? We will know that like for the Belt and Road Scholarship, there will be up to like full tuition fee. And then for the future leaders, probably they will have like the full tuition fee or more. And then for the he for she scholarship is maybe like up to full tuition fee and as well as like some travel allowance. And then finally, for the foundation scholarship or entrance scholarship, they will up to like full tuition fee as well. So sort of like in the general will be like mostly will be cover like future tuition fee. But again, whether like the terms and conditions or like your like final scholarships offer, we will be highly recommend you to check with the final scholarship offer letter and then to see inside the terms and conditions because like they may subject to change as well from time to time. So that's why like right now we just have like generally like wrap up to say like this is like sort of like approximate amount to let you guys know about sort of like attractive. That's what our students like and scholars like just mentioned that is very attractive. But then like for like the details perhaps like first you may go to the website and then the second will be properly referred to the scholarship offer letter will be the best one to do. So I received like one questions regarding from Trey. Can you explain a little bit more like about like your degree into sort of like why do you choose like business or whatever, like in what kind of like what time you feel like, oh, I really want to do like business or like IBGM, and then how do you feel like is that actually matching with your current study or current goals or development by far?
Yeah, so for me, I really wanted to study business in particular. I wasn't as interested in like the finance path that a lot of universities offer. I wanted a bit more specifically business. And for me, international business was really attractive, especially coming to Asia because being in the US and then coming to Europe and then finally coming to Asia, like I have a lot of international experience. And so doing international business just feel like it fit. And as well, IBGM in HKU is a really competitive program. So in addition to the courses, they also offer a lot of auxiliary stuff to the program that has been kind of very helpful in my business education. Like there are a lot of things like in the first semester we had a leadership boot camp where they gave us some leadership development training, and also we got a chance to sit down with some of the senior leaders at some big corporations in Hong Kong, and so that has been actually very useful.
So sort of like maybe you have like some like case or boot camp will be like with the internships or like with the external like petitioners, right?
Yeah, the
great.
internships are also great for business students at HKU, and I think especially as a business student, if you want to learn business, the education can be useful, but a lot of it is also practical. You need to actually go out and work, and so HKU does a really great job at supporting students in their careers and getting them those internships and real experience that helps you learn.
Great. So apart from like scholarships, because like the whole like section today will be about like scholarship. Apart from like T mentioning like some tips on about personal statement, maybe I will try to ask like Elsa or like Elizabeth, like okay, apart from like saying something like voluntary experience or like some kind of like leadership experience, do you have any other tips or like not just you two, but then like all our scholars, do you have any other tips like how to like maybe like be outstanding from my scholarship application? Like what do you think like it's like an element or like a spark that you think, oh, like because I do this or like do like one action or whatever, like, and then later on I feel like, oh, I would try my best and then to get the scholarship, and then like, at the very end, oh, I really make this offer. Like any tips from there?
Okay, so a big part of the scholarship is the scholarship interview, right? So really presenting yourself well in the scholarship interview makes you stand out. So one tip I can give is maybe like listing out all your experiences or the stories that you want to share first. Maybe you can write them down. Then try to frame your answer before like ask yourself questions like, why do I deserve this scholarship? What can I contribute to the Hong Kong community, and stuff, questions like that. Then try to answer those questions. Like preparing well really helps for the scholarship interview, and then just go for it. Yeah.
For me, I didn't have an interview, but for my application, the one-page write-up, I wrote about. It's very course specific because I was interested in global health and development, and I wrote that in my application essay as well as my scholarship essay. So I linked that to my experience, and one of the experiences I had was I studied from one of the free courses provided by UNICEF, or two of them. So that was maternal and child care and child care. So I think that really appealed how much I was interested in this particular course. Also, I highlighted how I wanted to bridge Myanmar societies and the Hong Kong society, how I can like link the two of them together and how I can contribute to both of them. So I thought that was pretty important.
Okay, great.
In the
So sort of
application.
like the connections or the relations between your home country and Hong Kong, and as well as like sort of the spirit of like give it a go and have a try. So so that's really, really good. And I spot some like questions about like there's some like students asking like about the scholarship academic requirement. So because we are the international and non-JUPAS admission scheme, which is like we are on the like another side, which is non-JUPAS side. So sort of like you don't have to too worry about that, because like we will like have the individual like evaluation based on your different kind of like international qualifications. So no matter like whether you're IB, GCE, or even like national exam, SAT or AP, don't worry. Like we will have like sort of like different streams to like evaluate as well. So like just make sure that you do good in your application form. Like make sure that you provide all the relevant documents in to us and then upload them on time. And then because we review from time to time, like basically we'll by batches. So like don't too worry about that, and we will consider accordingly like with your application profile. And so we will like try to like repeat again, like we'll be like, what are the like scholarship opportunities or whatever kind of like stuff you're able to like visit to our scholarship website, and then to have the most up-to-date versions or like the eligibility, and as well as like how you can okay to like approach to proceed to the application. And so some students are asking like, is this scholarship also only available for like Hong Kong students? It's not. It's actually like what we mentioned, that it's actually open to like international students as well, because like all here that we're today all sitting will be like from different kind of like countries and then cities as well. So sort of like don't have to too worry about that. We actually provide because we really want to nurture or like attract like different kind of like talents. So that's why we're open for international students, as well as like to align with the university vision and mission. Will be like we'll have a diversified community, and as well as like different kind of like nationalities people to come and join and study in Hong Kong or HKU. I got like special questions regarding ELSIS, because like you're quite interested in like the global health development as well. Can you talk a bit more like in what point you think like I really want to like, apart from like the UN or like having some like voluntary experience with like teaching English or whatever, in which stage of point you feel like or like what kind of maybe in small like in what kind of like turning point that makes you really want to like pursue study in global health development?
So I have a really rich history where I travel a lot, and I lived in different countries before. So my family participates in a lot of helping the minorities, and after seeing them, I was really interested in how I can improve on societies and how I can mainly health. I was pretty interested in how I can make these minorities have a more fulfilling life, how they can meet their basic needs, and that's how I was interested in this program. And I found that HKU had this program. It's a relatively new program, and yeah, that's why I attended this course.
Great. So we also received some questions like, is that the merit-based scholarship is renewable, or it just like apply to my first year tuition fee? So again, like it's actually all the scholarship are renewable, but of course we do have some like requirements, which is like you have to base on some like your GPA performances, your academic performances. So that's why like even though you got the scholarship like at first for your admissions entry, you still have to work very hard to ensure like sustainable like performances in your academic as well. So I mean like sort of like one phrases will be like work hard, play hard. Well, I mean like apart from like enjoying the time in Hong Kong, perhaps like from the studies you can actually like achieve the best and ensure that to continue to receive the scholarship amount as well. Some students keep asking like, can I still apply for scholarship even after submitting my application? Yes, you can. So because like as what we said, we welcome students to keep updating your application or academic portfolio as well. Because as we know that like some students maybe just have predicted grade by now, and then they won't have like the actual grade until like maybe like after months of like for examination. So that's why you don't have to too worry on that. And from this stage, like if you don't have like indicate your interest, just go back to your application portal and then indicate like your interest by putting a take in that particular scholarship, then we'll be good to go. And then ensure that you have look for like all the like required and relevant documents for handling. So I will go for the very last two questions. So the first one will be like, because like some students are quite concerned about like if predicted grade, it's like for example in IB or GCE is like really matters for applying to scholarship to like particular programs or whatever. Again, because like we will use the predicted score to consider like or to issues like conditional offers. But again, like at the very end, because for the terms and condition, we will look for your achieved grade as well. So sort of like your achieved grade is very important because like this is the like sort of like the proof or evidence for you to whether you can get a firm offer, which is like the final actual offer, and then as well as the scholarship offer. So sort of like you have to ensure that like, oh, I do have like some work hard, like even though like first you got the predicted grade, but then at the very end for your examination, you still have to work very hard to achieve like what are the conditions that you haven't meet, like or you have to meet like before to turn to the firm offer. And the final questions were about like, does the scholarship have like different deadlines for submissions? Yes, because like for the just for the merit entrance scholarship, because like you don't have to make a separate application form, so that like you don't have to worry about like the deadline. But the problem will be like for other like special scholarship, for example like Belt and Roll or like he for she or like future leaders, they probably will have like a deadline indicated in the application, which is like also in the scholarship page as well. And let me tell you a bit more. Will be the Belt and Roll scholarship usually maybe like will having the deadline will be in February or March. So sort of like, and then later on the government will start streamlining your application. Maybe in April onwards or May onwards, you will have like interview. May have, but like don't worry like whether you have or have not interview, but it's just like a procedural thing to do it. But at the very end, like for the result announcement, will be probably from July onwards because this is assigned by the government. So that's why they probably will make some like by batches will be assigned the scholarship as well. So like don't to panic if you keep waiting the scholarship, and then like if you have like other questions regarding like scholarship related or admission related, always feel free to like contact us in our admissions.hku.hk website, and then we'll be able to like cater you guys as well. So finally, it's sort of like nearly come to the end. I know it's like sort of like it should be a very fruitful and meaningful section because like usually like we are not able to having like this opportunity to you guys as well. So I think like it's sort of like coming to the end of this section today. And then what about we say like together would be like a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, because it's nearly come to the end of the year, and I think like we wish everyone to have a good start for the year will be like 2023 as well. So shall we say it together? Will be Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you.